Okay, we're back again for a retro review of The Wire. Let's get into it.
Ain't it obvious? I just got the check for depositing. $750 for the sound wave to get it processed. Won't stop till that shit weighing down my pockets. My main thing's to my main thing. She a blossom. When she ease the pain with the brain, she a doctor. She open up, then a thing thicker than the plot gets. Swear that shit is awesome. Sight for the optics. Young nigga on top. Nike's all I'm rocking, so that all they see is checks from where the head to where the socks fit. No logo on the bifocal, flicking old roach tips. Won't even show my face until all the shows book. Need the cash in advance, leave them all social. I'm the guy they chosen. Rise up like the rose and put them on a poster. All the way up in the sky where the stars posted. Sip it on that rose, I put it down on coasters. Stack francs from the waves till I own the ocean. More praises for the sayings, let it all soak in. They like, hey, that shit is flame, bitch, I know I rode. They going tight, dumb.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Ebbie with Ebbie Reviews, and this is going to be my review for The Wire Season 1, Episode 8, Lessons. So let me try to get to my notes. There's so many notes. Okay, so we start with McNulty with his sons at the Fresh Market. And so McNulty happens to see Stringer Bell at the Fresh Market. So he plays a game with his children that they are very well familiar with called Front and Follow, where one of his babies get in front of Stringer Bell and the other one gets behind Stringer Bell, and they are following to see where he is. While they do all of that, McNulty runs to go get his car. He loses eyesight of his children. They play in Front and Follow, so they follow Stringer Bell out to his car, and the baby gets his license plate number. But he lost his kids. And then got to go in there and put them on the PA system, talk about something. Can the McNulty children come to the office? You know what? So Briggs and Freeman, Presby are talking about the payphones being ripped out in the low rises and what that could mean. Herc and Carver are talking about taking the sergeant's test. Either one of them should be listed. Okay. Presby says that they need to see what phones are being used now that the ones that are in the low rises are ripped out. Herc and Carver act like they didn't hear anything. He's like, you not the boss of us. Wait, you go find it out. He's like, I can't. I'm stuck in the office. They're like, that seems like a personal issue to me. And then Kima comes right behind him, like, get your asses out there on the roof and figure out what phones they use, and then their asses go out on the roof. So Weebay and Stinkum are tossing Omar's room, and he watching them from another apartment. The little girl that he gave the free dope to the day before, when it was just him and his crew. After they took off the stash and they were selling the dope, they no, that's not what I'm doing today. So he's in his apartment. He's watching her. So, McNulty is in the office, and Wallace is in his room sleeping. One of the kids comes into the room and are asking him about his homework, and so he's trying to explain the word problem to the little boy. Poot comes in and tells him a new package is coming, so you need to be out on the corner. He's like, D'Angelo not gonna pay you if you're not there. And he's like, I don't give a damn about any of that bullshit. Just give me $10 and I'll give it back to you on Friday. He's like, how? He not gonna pay you? He's like, don't worry about what I'm doing. Just know that I need you to. Just know that just give me the $10. He needs $10 to get high. Like, this whole thing with Wallace upsets my... Listen, hurt my feelings. So then Wallace talks to the little boy, and he's like, okay, so if this is how many you got on the stash, and you sold this many, and two fiends came up and asked this one, but this one only had this much money, so you gave him 2 instead of 3, and da-da-da-da. How many was it? And the boy had to count right. He's like, how you can get the count right, but you can't get this math problem right? He's like, because if the count not right, they're gonna fuck me up. Well, he's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong. So Herc and Sidnor are on the roof. Herc is tap dancing on Sidnor's last nerve. For real. Weebay and D'Angelo take a ride, leaving Poot in charge. They left Poot in charge for like 45 seconds, and already he's standing like he's king of the world on top of this orange sofa chair. Okay, boy, sorry. So, Weebay, D'Angelo, Stinkum, and a couple other dudes of the crew right? They celebrate and stink them, getting points on the package. They are and him moving up, and so and they sit down eating, and so at this point, this is where D'Angelo let it slip that Orlando came to him with the side deal to undercut his uncle, and everybody's like, and they go, that's not, no, So they like, tell your uncle, and he was like, y'all think I should tell him? He's like, yes, nigga, tell your uncle. So, so Day Day gets pulled over. The driver for Senator Clay Davis. He goes into the high rises. He gets a trash bag full of money, and he's driving away. The cops are following him. They pull him over, and they get the money. They arrest him. So they take him to the office. So they take him and they arrest him. McNulty is stalking the address the Stringer Bell car was registered to. Daniels talks to Day Day and asks him, and Day Day asks for his lawyer. He don't say nothing. He's like, no, I'm not doing this. I need my lawyer. Orlando is called into the office with Avon, and he gets beat up for trying to do an in run. He's like, motherfucker, you is the clean name on my liquor license. I can't afford for you to fuck up anything that I got going on because you got delusions of motherfucking grandeur. And they proceed to whip his ass. You lucky you're not dead. They need you alive because your name is on the liquor license. But my nigga, if it wasn't for that, they would have killed you. Daniels is talking to the major about Day Day. They talking to Deputy Burrell. He makes them give the money back. He makes them give the money back and send him on his way. And he says he's shutting down the wiretaps. He's shutting down everything. It's over at the end of the week. McNulty gets mad and yells at Daniels. He asks what the deputy has on him. And Daniels tells him nothing but seniority. So we then go to the boys are having a kickback at a house with strippers. Orlando was there. D'Angelo is asking everybody. He's like, "Well, what about the rules that my uncle has in place?" He's like, "This is a special." This is a special occasion. The rules don't apply. We can get high. We can get drunk with these bitches. Blah blah blah. So Daniel's at home and talking to his wife. And he makes a very poignant statement that if you follow the drugs, you'll get a drug dealer. But if you follow the money, you don't know what's going to happen. They send D'Angelo on a liquor run. He comes back and the party is all over. And one of the little stripper girls is in the bed dead. I'm assuming she overdosed. Now everybody is packing up, and the judge calls, and McNulty and Greggs are in his office, and he's explaining, why do I get this memo that they shutting down my wiretap? And they explain to him what happened about the money and pulling Day Day over. So he's like, oh really? Bet. He's like, he calls the chief deputy. He's like, 60 days. And he's like, 60 days of wiretaps, right? He's like, yeah. He was like, and how many days of the wiretap have you been up? He's like, they're like about 40 or so days. Okay, I need the rest of my 60 days. So he calls the deputy Rawls, Deputy Burrell, and says, hey, Baltimore court signed off for 60 days of wiretaps. So why are you shutting my wiretap down? You owe me. I want my 60 days. And he was like, he couldn't give him a good enough answer. He's like, if you don't get, you going to find yourself in a world of trouble with Baltimore courts and find yourself in contempt if you take my wiretap down at the end of the week. So Burrell is now pissed. So Herc and Carver are studying for the test. Carver asked Herc a question. He gives the absolute wrong. He gives what an answer that's so wrong. It was like that Adam Sandler movie where he got up and answered the question. The man got up behind him. He was like, not only is that answer is wrong, we are all stupider for having listened to you. Like, oh my God, why, sir? So, Daniels talks to Greg and he asks who was responsible for them keeping their wiretap for the rest of the time. And he's like, is it McNulty or the judge? And Kima tells him, no, the judge did this on his own. We were just sitting there and he made a call. So McNulty follows Stringer Bell to class at the community college for microeconomics. Carver and Herc are taking the sergeant exam. Bless God, hopefully one of them pass. Stringer Bell has a copy shop and he's talking to his staff about actually doing the workload for the copy shop. It's gotta be I know it's gotta be a front, and they laundering the money through the place, but he's like, no, and you can't, it has to be successful on the outside in order for us to successfully wash the money. So when people come in with their orders, do it correctly so that they come back, build a reputation for us knowing and doing what we and being about our business, which then in turns help us with the back end. So, Stinkum and Weebay are lying on the corner that they're about to take over with Pretty Ricky or Scar, or whatever the fuck that nigga's name is. But as they fin to roll up on him, Stinkum is walking past the open doorway. And who was in the open doorway but Omar? And Omar's like, hey now. Pow! Killed that nigga. Oh, God. Oh, God. He also shot Weebay. Now, the little boys who was on the corner heard the shooting, and they just got on up out of there. And Omar told Weebay, if you gonna shoot at the king, you best not miss. Omar is epic. Do you hear me? Epic. But he killed Stinkum for killing his Brandon. So Weebay throws his gun in the sewer and limps off. Avon damn near quadruples the bounty because it goes from 2 to 10 on Omar. Stringer is telling him that, look, this is getting messy. We may have to lay back a bit and wait for him to stick his head out of his hole and then cap that nigga. But we can't afford to have open warfare right now in these streets. Omar goes to talk to the cops about Weebay, about Stinkum being murdered. And he was like, because they heard on the wiretaps that it was Omar that killed him. And he like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was minding my business. A man got to have a code. Yeah, I ain't never put my gun on no citizen or nobody who wasn't in the game. So listen, it is what it is. So McNulty goes to talk to Bunk, and he's like, who called Stinkum's case? And he was like, it's Cole. He's like, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to talk to Cole and tell him that we have this wiretap. We know we got the shooter, and we'll give him the shooter once we're done with our investigation. He can just hold off. And he was like, but you never gonna give him the shooter? He's like, no, because it's Omar. Y'all need him to testify. And he can't testify if he's, got his own murder charge. So Bunk goes over and finesses Cole into holding out and not investigating Stinkum's murder. Freeman and Greggs are talking about turning D'Angelo's girlfriend out of all of the strippers inside Orlando's bar, who is the one most likely they can turn. And she's the most stand-up person out of all of the strippers, so they say she would be the one. McNulty and Bunk are in a bar getting drunk. Bunk sees a woman and he makes eye contact, and he was like, I need you to call my wife and tell her that I caught a case, blah, 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 and I'm gonna be out late. And McNulty's like, why would I? He was like, I lied for you with Cole, you can do this lie for me. And so he does. Then it's like 2, 3 in the morning. McNulty gets a call from this lady. She's like, come get this drunk ass motherfucker. He done set off my smoke alarm twice. This nigga is so drunk. He's trying to burn his clothes to hide the evidence of him cheating. So clearly you drunk and didn't think this through, because my man What was you gonna wear home? How was you gonna explain? How, Sway? How? I don't even know how he thought that. Listen. And then as McNulty takes him to his house, I guess he called his wife to say, he's going to bunk here for the night. McNulty's putting Bunk to bed in one of his son's bunk beds, and Bunk has the nerve to say, McNulty, you're not good for people. But he came and got your ass at 2:30 in the morning after you done set this woman's bathroom on fire. You know what? That is too much. That is how this episode ended. This one, it was absolute. There are no filler episodes. Everything means something. That hey now, when Omar hit him with the hey now and then killed that boy. Listen, Omar's stature is just building up and building up. He's becoming legend. And I can't wait. Please drop down in the comments. Let's discuss this. Who's your favorite character? Who don't you see it for? What we gonna do about Wallace? I'm still in my feelings. I'm sad that the baby is getting high. Listen, let's talk about it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.